Aside from our previous video, there are still some first aid kits you need to know for your pet rabbit. You don't want anything to happen to your little cuddle bunny, but it's inevitable that there may be some sort of small or even big emergency, injury, or illness in your rabbit's future. When you add a bunny, or two, to your family, you want to be prepared the same as you would be for any other family member. In addition to buying the right foods and proper housing, you should have a rabbit first aid kit on hand to deal with the most common situations that come up. Many owners think this is something they don't have to worry about, especially with young rabbits, but I can tell you from my own personal experience that when something goes wrong, you will be so glad you were prepared in advance. Also, again, my personal experience, it's very likely that something will happen at night or on the weekends when you can't reach your regular vet for advice or run out to the store to get essential supplies. Having these recommended items on hand in your rabbit's first aid kit can help save you a costly emergency trip to the vet or even save your rabbit's life. A rabbit first aid kit is essential for every bunny owner. Ice pads. Ice pads won't be kept inside the first aid kit, but are still very useful to have when you need them. Keep them in the freezer so that they'll be ready to use. You could also freeze some large water bottles to use as ice pads. Frozen water bottles could even be considered a safer option because if the rabbit decides to chew on them, it's only water on the inside. Ice pads or frozen water bottles can be used to help your rabbit stay cool in the summertime. They will be essential if your rabbit starts to overheat, giving your rabbit a cool place to lay against and lower its body temperature. Antibiotic cream. Antibiotic creams can be used on rabbit cuts or scrapes to prevent infection. Topical creams like this can be found at a drugstore, for example Neosporin, but don't use creams that also include pain relief. Since rabbits are so much smaller than humans, the pain relief element in these drugs can have negative side effects. You want to use only a small dab of the antibiotic cream on your rabbit and then cover it with a bandage temporarily. This will prevent your rabbit from licking it and ingesting the cream. Thermometer. You can take your rabbit's temperature at home. This will give your vet more information when you call to make an appointment for your rabbit. You will need to get a rectal thermometer for this procedure since that's the only way to get an accurate reading with rabbits. You'll also want to get some Vaseline or petroleum jelly to use as a lube for the thermometer. This will make sure the rabbit is comfortable during the whole procedure. When taking your rabbit's temperature, you'll want to make sure it falls into the normal range of 101.5 degrees Fahrenheit and 103.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Blunt tip scissors and tweezers. Scissors and tweezers are versatile tools to add to your first aid kit. They can be used to cut bandages or trim the fur around a cut, carefully. Scissors can also help to open up the frustrating packaging of other supplies when time is of the essence. Tweezers can be used to remove a lodged splinter. Towels. You'll want to add at least one large towel to your first aid kit. This can be used for anything from putting your rabbit into a bunny burrito when you give them medication, to keeping your rabbit warm when you bring them out in their carrier during winter. A towel can also be used to give your rabbit some footing on a slick surface and prevent injury. Carrier. You always want to have a small carrier for your rabbit available. This obviously won't be physically in your first aid kit, but you'll want to keep it nearby in a place you can easily get to if there is an emergency. You'll need a carrier for when you take your rabbit to the vet, and you'll need a carrier if there is ever an evacuation in your building or area. There's this carrier with a top door so that can more easily get your rabbit inside in an emergency situation. A small cat-sized carrier will work for most rabbits. When choosing a carrier, you want to make sure that your rabbit has space to turn around completely, but not much more so that you can avoid injury while in a moving vehicle. Medications. If your rabbit has any medications that they need to take on a regular basis, these should be kept in the first aid kit. Any medications that need to be refrigerated should be kept in a specified spot in the fridge so that you know exactly where to find them. It's a good idea to keep the correctly sized syringe in the same spot so that you give your rabbit the right dosage. Medications can be expensive, so you may also want to keep any of your rabbit's old medications until they expire. This way, if your rabbit experiences the same medical problem again, you might not have to pay for their new medicine if there is still enough of the old one available. Hand sanitizer and gloves. To prevent a bacterial infection or the spread of any disease, it's best to have hand sanitizer and medical gloves available. These are obviously for you and not the rabbit. Making sure to wash your hands with water and soap is also a good preventative measure to take. Saline solution. Saline solutions are good for washing out your rabbit's eyes if they get debris or gunk stuck in them. You can purchase an over-the-counter saline solution that is used for contact lenses. Just be sure that it is a simple solution and does not contain any medication. You can also find pet-specific eye washes, such as the Vetericyn eye wash. Use the solution with an eyedropper to gently flush the eye. If you notice that gunk tends to form in and around your rabbit's eyes often, it's a good idea to get them a health check. This could be a sign of clogged tear ducts or teeth problems in rabbits. Baby food. When your rabbit won't eat, baby food is easy to feed with a syringe to help keep her strength up. Look for organic pumpkin or squash with no additives or preservatives. You will want to dilute it with water so it is runny. Use the syringe to very slowly putting some food into the side of her mouth, giving her time to chew and swallow. Brushes and a flea comb. You may want to keep your rabbit's grooming items together with your first aid kit, to keep them from getting misplaced. This will be whatever brushes your rabbit prefers, since many bunnies can be picky with their grooming supplies. You'll also want to include a flea comb so that you can have it available if your rabbit contracts fleas. Rehydrating drink. Sometimes when rabbits get sick they don't want to eat or drink anything. This means they can quickly become dehydrated. It's a good idea to have plain Pedialyte or packages of rehydrating salts around that you can use to syringe feed your rabbit and keep them hydrated. These will help replenish your rabbit's electrolytes as well as give your rabbit their much needed water. If you don't have these on hand, plain water is still very useful. If your rabbit won't drink, you can syringe feed it to your rabbit. You can also try adding a little bit of unsweetened apple or carrot juice to make it more appetizing. Some are common items that you may already have around the house or in your regular first aid kit. Many of these items can be purchased at a pharmacy or from your vet. Because many of the items will have expiration dates, especially foods and medicines, make sure you are replacing the items as they expire. We highly recommend getting some sort of container to keep these items in so they're easy to find or grab in the case of an emergency evacuation. I would recommend something sturdy and waterproof. You could even take a traditional plastic first aid kit box and fill it with all your rabbit's essentials. Know your vet's schedule. Some vets only work a few days per week or have extended hours on certain days. Know this, it will come in handy. Have a backup vet for when your vet is out of town. A rabbit is an active animal and it can fall sick, get hurt, and need our immediate attention. We will always recommend that you seek professional help from a rabbit-savvy vet, but in the event you are unable to do so, such as if it happened late at night, it's important to keep some first aid items handy to ease the situation. Many of the first aid items we keep in the Wonderland are easy to obtain, and today, we will like to share what we have in our first aid kit so you can be well prepared to handle an emergency situation. If you enjoyed this video, kindly press the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, so that you don't miss out on videos like this. Thank you for watching.